someone who again needs no introduction, but yes, it is customary and I need to introduce him. His name is CA Akshat Goyal. CA Akshat Goyal, who secured All India Rank 2 in CA Final. He had secured All India Rank 1 in CA Intermediate 2019 exams, and he created a record for an all-time All India highest score of 740 marks in Intermediate. He has also been CBSE Commerce exams, 12th Standard Commerce exam, national topper, that is, he secured a second rank in 12th Standard exams. And obviously, more than anything else, he's a very good friend of mine, and really happy to have him here, as you all can see on my face. First of all, heartiest congratulations, Akshat, and welcome to this series once again.
Thank you, Divesh. It's a pleasure to be here again.
Thanks a ton, Akshat, for making out the time. So I know Akshat has been actually keeping very busy the last few days, but I told Akshat, you have to make out time for me and the viewers of this channel, because everyone has to hear your backstory of getting a rank. Everyone wants to hear out your side of the story. So in fact, without further ado, let's just get started with our questions. And the first one is something that probably a lot of people might want to hear from you, is how did expectations have an impact on you? In the sense that you had the all-time All India highest score in your CA Intermediate when you scored 740. Obviously, when anyone gets an All India rank 1, he or she would target an All India rank in CA Final, and which is very normal, I would say. But kahin na kahin, there is always that fear in your head. What if you, let's say, don't get TI1? What if you don't get a rank? What if you don't perform well? Kahin na kahin, sab log pressure build kar dete hain. What was your mindset during those 3 years of preparation? What was your mindset during those 15-16 days of exam? हो सकता है कोई पेपर अच्छा नहीं गया हो, and finally, what was your mindset when you actually saw an All India rank 2 on your merit list page?
So expectations, there were a lot of expectations. Like, not from my family, they did not burden me with expectations. They very well knew that expectations created too much of a pressure. So they did not burden me with any expectations. They were mainly from outsiders, from friends, from many well-wishers and other people. They were like deeming that ये तो Airvan आएगी ही, तू तो Airvan है, Airvan नहीं आएगी. So that pressure was definitely very high. So like my mindset was like not to get this in my head. Like मेरी sister is starting से पीछे पड़ी थी, इसको दिमाग में मत आने देना, rank को बिल्कुल दिमाग में मत आने देना, वो चढ़ जाएगी तो फिर बहुत दिक्कत होती है. तो स्टार्टिंग से ही रैंक को थोड़ा दिमाग में नहीं आने देना, ये थोड़ी कोशिश रही थी, और तो काफी डिफिकल्ट रहता है. मतलब इवन तो मैंने खुद के लिए कोई एक्सपेक्टेशंस नहीं बनाई थी फाइनल के लिए, पर कहीं ना कहीं बैक ऑफ द माइंड थी कि ना रैंक आएगा, रैंक 1 आएगा, कुछ ना कुछ बैक ऑफ द माइंड रहता है. और तो कोशिश मैंने पूरी करी थी ना आए, पर कहीं ना कहीं वो थोड़ा बहुत रहता ही है, क्योंकि सब लोग इतना बोलते हैं लोग आपको, तो फिर कहीं ना कहीं वो बैठ जाता है दिमाग में. तो 15-16 डेज में भी मेरी कोशिश यही थी कि रैंक नहीं ना आए दिमाग में. 1-2 पेपर के बाद थोड़ा आया भी था, पेपर अच्छे नहीं हुए. फॉर एग्जांपल SFM मेरे थोड़ा बिगड़ा था, तो उसके बाद मेरा थोड़ा दिमाग अजीब सा हो गया था कि इसमें 80 नहीं आ रहे, या फिर ना मुझे 80% चाहिए होते हैं रैंक 1 के लिए, यहाँ पे 80 नहीं आ रहे. थोड़ा साथ ही मैं तुझसे बात भी करी थी उसके बाद. सो वो कहीं ना कहीं उसकी कोशिश थोड़ी बहुत रही थी कि अभी प्रेशर दिमाग में ना आए रैंक 1 का. रिजल्ट के बाद क्या माइंडसेट था, पहली बात तो मैं रिजल्ट के लिए प्रिपेयर्ड ही नहीं था. इतनी सुबह रिजल्ट आ गया, तो वो रिजल्ट के पहले जो एंजाइटी होती क्या होएगा, वो एंजाइटी हुई नहीं. मैं तो सो रहा था इनफैक्ट 8 बजे जब मुझे पता लगा रिजल्ट आ गया. इमीडिएटली मैंने मेरिट लिस्ट चेक करी, तो इट वाज सेकंड रैंक. तो उस पॉइंट में मेरे को कोई डिसअपॉइंटमेंट नहीं था. आई वाज टोटली हैप्पी कि हाँ सेकंड रैंक है, सबको बताया, सब एकदम खुशी हो रही थी उस समय. अब तक भी ऐसा मुझे कोई डिसअपॉइंटमेंट नहीं है वो रैंक 1 का. अभी भी कुछ लोग कहते हैं रैंक 1 नहीं आई, 3 मार्क्स से रह गया, बट मेरे दिमाग में ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं.
Yeah, that is the thing about people which I don't like, and kahin na kahin I don't blame people also. I'm sure a lot of people wish the best for you, like all of us as well. But the issue is a lot of people knowingly, unknowingly create that pressure on your head, and not just on AIR1. ये हर CA student की कहानी है कि friends, relatives, etc. create that pressure, and kahin na kahin that impacts a lot on the performance. But I have known Akshat very well, and like he said, his sister had mentioned the rank ko sir pe mat chadne dena, and I know as a matter of fact I've known him since last more than 2 years now. He has been the most humble person I've ever met, despite having achieved whatever one could achieve. So that probably is the best thing about him, and at least most of the study period I've been in touch with him, etc. He's been the most calm person one could be, obviously. But again, at the end of the day, everyone is a human. कहीं ना कहीं वो एक internal benchmark आपके दिमाग में ही set हो जाता है one का, so definitely you create that expectation. But despite that, really happy that Akshat has maintained that consistency of being in the top 3, and in fact to just miss the rank by rank on by 3 marks. But what I feel is, and I've always, admired the Agarwal, who was an all-India ranker at Inter and final. She said this one line, and that stuck in my head after, before Inter as well. And that one line was, this is when she had got an all-India rank 3 in CS Professional after getting 3 straight all-India ranks. That is, she got CA Inter AIR1, CA Final AIR1, and CS Executive AIR1. CS Professional, she ended up getting an all-India rank 3. And in one of her speeches, I had heard her saying that make sure your failure is above everyone else's success. So for her, probably the failure was getting an all-India rank 3, because anything lower than an all-India rank 1 probably would be, not meeting her benchmark. But probably I could say that for Akshat, that he's worked so hard that now, even if he's not gotten one, he's still ahead of all the other candidates who appeared for the exam, except that one person is secured one. So I'm really happy for Akshat, and so are all of us. So is he. Much deserved, I would say. But then let's quickly move on to our next question. Something that I have again admired about Akshat, about his unconventional choices in general. So one of such unconventional choices is usually people don't opt for paper 6F, that is multidisciplinary case study. But he opted for multidisciplinary case study as his elective. So Akshat, I want to ask you, why was that choice? Weren't you scared? लोग नहीं लेते, क्यों नहीं लेते? कोई तो reason होगा. मैं लूँगा तो कम marks आ गए तो, etc., etc. What if this has an impact on my rank? Why did you take this elective?
So at the start of my CAfinal also, I had seen all the papers of all the 6 electives. एक बार ऊपर देखने लगे exactly क्या है सारे subjects बारे में. तो उस टाइम पे काफी मुझे अट्रैक्टिव लगा था ये सब्जेक्ट कि हाँ भाई ये ले सकते हैं, काफी एडवेंचरस लग रहा है, मतलब एडवेंचर करने का मन होता है ये सब्जेक्ट ले लो. पर उस पॉइंट पे वो मतलब मैं और मेरे फ्रेंड दोनों का ही था कि मैंने ये सब्जेक्ट वी कैन कंसिडर. पर उस टाइम पे वो कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं आया था कि ऐसे सब्जेक्ट ले लो जो कि भाई कोई नहीं लेता. जैसे एक आरटी आई थी उसमें था 50 बच्चों ने लिया अटेम्प्ट में सब्जेक्ट. सो उस पॉइंट पे कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं था कि इतना करेज कि हम इस सब्जेक्ट को चूज कर दें. पर जैसे पिछले अटेम्प्ट में शुभम ने लिया था, तो उससे मेरी बात हुई थी कि वो ले रहे. उसके बाद मुझे कॉन्फिडेंस है कि हम भी ले लेते हैं. इट इज वर्थ ट्राइंग. ये मेरी इसमें कंसिडरेशंस थी कि भाई इसमें एक्स्ट्रा कुछ नहीं पढ़ना. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल 7 सब्जेक्ट ही है, अगर 7 सब्जेक्ट्स आपको अच्छे से आते हैं तो ये उसी में कवर हो जाता है. प्लस सेकेंडली जो 1.5 दिन है पेपर 6 के पहले, उसमें आराम से डीटी आईडीटी पढ़ सकते हैं, क्योंकि इसके लिए कुछ भी अलग से पढ़ना ही नहीं है. और डीटी आईडीटी भी इसमें काम आ ही जाता है. और वरना इसके अंदर पेपर पैटर्न है कि मुझे काफी लगा था कि हाँ इजी सफिशिएंट पेपर आता है कि हाँ कर सकते हैं हम. तो ऑल्दो काफी अनकन्वेंशनल था, पर मैंने काफी कंट्रोल्ड रिस्क ली थी, कैलकुलेटेड रिस्क कि हाँ टाइम बच रहा है, डीटी आईडीटी में बढ़ रहा है, तो हम थोड़ा रिस्क यहाँ ले सकते हैं. सो दैट इज व्हाई आई चोज दिस सब्जेक्ट.
I feel again one thing that Akshat mentioned over here is noteworthy. The fact that he went through all the 6 papers and उसने देखा कि हर एक पेपर क्या है, कितनी स्कोरिंग की पॉसिबिलिटीज है, how comfortable he is with each subject. वरना होता क्या यूजुअली कुछ सब्जेक्ट्स तो लोग पहले ही एलिमिनेट करते हैं. जैसे 6F कोई नहीं ले रहा है, सिर्फ 50 लोग ले रहे हैं, तो चलो हमको भी क्यों, why do you want to try it? People are like against adventures, let's not try. अरे पर आप पेपर देखो तो सही. And honestly it's not just for people in general. मैंने भी यही किया था. I never saw 6F का पेपर. First time I was when Shubham is for your context, for those who don't know him, he's all India rank 8 in December 21 exams, a good friend of mine and Akshat. So जब उसने मेरे को बोला he's planning to take multidisciplinary, I was shocked and I was like यार क्यों करना adventure. But then I realized when I heard it from Shubham, I heard it from Akshat कि कहीं ना कहीं they have gone through those papers, they are comfortable with going about it, and again very logical because DTIDD पढ़ने का time नहीं मिलेगा. That is when I felt कि कहीं ना कहीं people are doing this wrong thing कि following the herd. लोगों ने लिया है, let's say economic laws यहाँ आ रहे हैं तो वही ले लो, don't take multidisciplinary, which I feel is incorrect. So I'm very happy Akshat went by that unconventional choice, and by the way he's scored 75 marks in the subject of multidisciplinary, which is a good, very good score. So for all those out there, I will not suggest you taking multidisciplinary. You may or may not take it, but all I would say is don't follow the herd. Just because यार 1 year 2 ने एक subject लिया, take that subject, and that has been going on since years now. कि सिर्फ 1 year 2 ने जो subject लिया वो आप ले, that is wrong. That is a very wrong approach. आपको जो subject comfortable लग रहा है, go ahead with that. Cool. Let's straight away go on to the next question. A lot of people say CA में 10 घंटे 12 घंटे पढ़ना पड़ता है, 14 घंटे पढ़ना पड़ता है, एटलीस्ट 6 महीने की लीव चाहिए, ये तीनों हो उसके बाद ही आपको रैंक आएगा. What is the number of hours that you studied, or what was the number of leaves that you got from your?
So first of all, talking about leaves. So in our firm we get leaves of 4.5 months. That is from December 16th around till April 8th. That is what we got a leaves. So ऐसा नहीं है कि 6 months ही चाहिए होती है. मतलब इट्स लाइक आपको पता होने चाहिए कितनी मिल रही है, फिर आपको अपने पढ़ाई उसमें मैनेज करनी है. आपको 4 मिल रही है, 5 मिल रही है, 7 मिल रही है, आपको उस हिसाब से अपनी प्लानिंग करनी है. Like in my case, because I knew I was getting leaves in December only, I fast-tracked my classes and I completed classes by July. So that from July to December, I completed my entire first revision. So normally जिनका रिविजन छुट्टियों के बाद चालू होता है, मेरा छुट्टियों से पहले खत्म हो गया था अपना फर्स्ट रिविजन, सारे सब्जेक्ट्स ऑलमोस्ट. तो वो आपको जब पता है कितनी छुट्टियां मिली, तो उस हिसाब से अपनी प्लानिंग करो ताकि आपका वो मैनेज हो जाए, क्योंकि आपके पास इन द एंड 3 इयर्स पूरे हैं. इट्स नॉट लाइक आपके पास 4.5 मंथ से 6 मंथ्स ही है, वो 3 इयर्स पूरे हैं जिसको आप एफिशिएंटली यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं. एंड नंबर ऑफ आवर्स की बात करें, सो नंबर ऑफ आवर्स इज अ वेरी पर्सनल चॉइस. आप कितने रखते हैं, कोई ऐसे देयर इज नो रूल ऑफ थंब कि भाई 10 आवर्स 15 आवर्स 16 आवर्स पढ़ना है. In my case, what I felt was, and I shared this with Divesh also, like I felt I was studying for the whole day, but effectively it was coming out as 8-9 hours only.
Correct. ऐसा भी होता था.
Exactly. So that is at that point I was like, okay, इसके साथ भी ऐसा ही हो रहा है, so it's okay. 8-9 hours ही आ रहे हैं, इतने ही आते हैं. और उतने में sufficient थे, उतने में हो गया था. But I felt like I was studying for the entire day. So there is no rule of thumb कि भाई इतने घंटे पढ़ना ही पढ़ना है. In fact, I feel 14-15 घंटे की पढ़ाई रोज में सस्टेनेबल भी नहीं लगती मुझे. तो क्या 6-7 घंटे सोगे, 14-15 घंटे पढ़ोगे, थोड़ा तो 3-4 घंटे तो ब्रेक का टाइम भी चाहिए. तो 6 महीने तक या 4 महीने लगातार 15-16 घंटे की पढ़ाई सस्टेनेबल नहीं है. एटलीस्ट लास्ट के 15 डेज में तो करनी पड़ती. दैट इज अ टोटली डिफरेंट थिंग. रिमेनिंग टाइम में आई फेल्ट 8-10 आवर्स जितने ही निकल पा रहे थे मुझसे, और वो सफिशिएंट थे.
Very rightly said, Akshat, and I totally agree. So first is पहले तो यार ये सोचना भूल जाओ कि भाई रैंक लाने के लिए या सीए करने के लिए 14 घंटे पढ़ना पड़ता है. If you feel you need to study those many hours, please do it. But it's not a rule of thumb that आपको पढ़ना ही पड़ेगा. I have seen, as a matter of fact, 6 घंटे पढ़ के भी people clear CA finals in their first attempt, respective. And like Akshat is here, I am here. Both of us studied from like on an average 8 to 9 hours. And in fact, more than that, I would say हम लोग तो कभी calculation करने बैठे ही नहीं. Except for starting में लग रहा था यार कितने घंटे आ रहे चेक कर लेते, तब 1-2 दिन चेक किया था. But we used to never sit and calculate. But we knew, as a matter of fact, कि we are not putting more than 10 hours. And Akshat came to me with that concern. I told him कि भाई मेरे साथ भी यही बात है. Despite that, if 8 to 10 hours I can end up building a rank, so can you. Because it's at the end of the day about your personal choice. Like Akshat said, it's very subjective. So don't go by how many hours did Akshat study का उतने घंटे पढ़ो. अब Akshat का 8 घंटे में हो गया, हो सकता है आपको 12 घंटे पढ़ना पड़े, तो आपको 12 घंटे पढ़ना पड़ भी सकता है. So take your call accordingly and don't follow what me AIR1 or what Akshat AIR2 have to say. Next question, Akshat, picking up from your itself, if there is one thing that you can attribute to which help you getting a rank or maintain a rank at the levels, right, or maintain that consistency, what is the one thing you feel help you get a rank?
So one thing I would say, one thing or two things I would say, planning and consistency. Because in my 3 years journey of CA final, what I realized was the most important thing to plan properly your entire 3 years. Like right from planning, when you have to start classes, when you have to end your classes, then when you have to start a revision, how many revisions. That planning was like the most important, because I've often seen people, they just start taking classes without planning as such. Then their classes, they continue till very late. क्लासेस बहुत लेट खत्म होती हैं, तो फिर उनके पास रिवीजन का टाइम नहीं बचता, फिर वो थोड़े पैनिक हो जाते हैं. सो क्योंकि मैंने अपने सीनियर्स के साथ समझा हुआ था, आई वाज लाइक कि पहले चल टाइम से क्लासेस खत्म करें जुलाई तक, अपने रिविजन्स को प्रॉपर्ली प्लान करें कि मेरे पे 3 रिविजन है, इतने महीने हैं, तो कितना कितना टाइम हर सब्जेक्ट को दे सकता हूँ मैं, कितना मार्जिन रखना है. भाई मार्जिन रखना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. मैंने 20-25 डेज का मार्जिन रखा था, जो मेरा एक्स्ट्रा बच्चा था लास्ट में, और वो पूरा कवर अप हो गया था, क्योंकि कुछ ना कुछ प्लान एज इट एग्जीक्यूट हो ही नहीं पाता, उसमें 2-2 दिन पड़ते हैं हर सब्जेक्ट में, तो वो पूरा कवर अप हो गया था जो भी मेरा मार्जिन रखा था मैं. सो दैट प्लानिंग फिर अपनी 3 आवर्स में पेपर कैसे करना है, उसकी प्लानिंग 1.5 दिन कैसे पढ़ना है. So that is one very important thing. Second is consistency. कि हम सिर्फ लास्ट में 6 महीने पढ़ के नहीं कर सकते, 3 साल पूरी प्रिपरेशन रहेगी. मतलब सिर्फ आप क्लासेस भी ले लो, दैट इज आल्सो पार्ट ऑफ प्रिपरेशन. अग्री. पूरे प्लान करके अपने उसके हिसाब से कर रहे हो क्लासेस, इवन दैट इज प्रिपरेशन. तो पूरे 3 साल कंसिस्टेंटली करना है तो ही होता.
Totally agreed with Akshat over here, and I say what helped Akshat definitely maintain his rank was the fact that he was very proactive in his approach. The thing that I liked about him is he very proactively planned for his lectures so as to complete it few months before the leaves, because उसको पता था leaves कम मिलेगी, so that leaves के पहले एक reading हो जाए. This is all the planning that he had envisioned in his head. काफी लोग ये होता है सेकंड ईयर के एंड में जाते हैं, यार मेरे इतने सारे लेक्चर्स बाकी है. You have to do that planning beforehand. लास्ट में आपको जाके ये नहीं सोचना है मेरे को लीव्स कम मिल रही. Like Akshat said, आपको पूरे 3 साल मिल रहे हैं, 6 महीने नहीं मिल रहे. And I think planning and definitely the fact that he's been consistent enough right from school days is very visible to us. And in fact, one more thing, given the fact that I'm a very close friend of his and I know this fact, his sister got married in the month of March, I think first week of March. So he obviously, and घर पे शादी होती है, अपने ही sister की शादी होती है, तो I'm sure a lot of people, all of you know कि कितना time जाता है, how much effort you have to put in planning, managing the event, etc. इतने relatives आएंगे घर पे, etc. etc. But despite all that, I'm sure he would have, let's say, lost, let's say, 10 days over there जहाँ पे वो पढ़ नहीं पाया होगा. Bound to happen because घर पे चहल पहल होगी. But despite that, despite losing those 10-15 days, he ended up, covering it up very well, covering all the revisions he wanted. Still left with a few spare days, which also he ended up using, and in front of you getting an all India rank too. So that's a very good example of, I would say, planning. काफी लोग ये होता है यार, 1-2 दिन भी अगर किसी family event में जाना पड़ रहा है, within those 6 months they'll start grieving. In fact, even I was kind of a person कि नहीं यार, एक भी दिन waste नहीं होना चाहिए. But there are a few uncontrollable factors that are not in your hands. चलो किसी की शादी हो सकती है, you might not be well, family में किसी की death हो सकती है, anything. You have to factor in all those possibilities and build up that contingency, like Akshat said. You have to be ready for those events and rather than critic about it. Next question, Akshat. What probably want to ask, and I'm not sure if you committed any mistake in your CA journey, but still, was there any mistake that you committed? And if there was, then would you like to share it with the students so that they don't commit the same mistake?
Okay. So one thing I felt like during my exams, one thing I did not do was plan my 1.5 days. Like what to study and how to study, because like intermediate course was a bit smaller, so I was able to manage the course in 1.5 days comfortably in intermediate. So I had not even like forecasted that I would not be able to complete my course in CAfinal 1.5 days. So I had not planned कि मुझे 1.5 दिन में क्या करना है, अगर मेरा छूटता है तो मुझे किस प्रायोरिटी में करना है, लास्ट में क्या छोड़ने के लिए रख सकता हूँ, वो प्लानिंग मैं करना ही भूल गया. और फिर मुझे वो पेपर में जब मेरा कोर्स खत्म नहीं हो रहा था, राइट फ्रॉम आई थिंक SFM या ऑडिट से ही, तब मुझे रियलाइज हुआ कि तो मैंने प्लान ही नहीं किया, मैं क्या करूँ, मैं अब प्लान कैसे करूँ कि मुझे क्या छोड़ना है. तो दैट वाज समथिंग कि मुझे लगा कि मुझे पहले करके रखना चाहिए था कि 1.5 दिन में क्या करना है, किस ऑर्डर में करना है, किस प्रायोरिटी में करना है, छूटे अगर कोर्स छूट रहा है तो क्या छोड़ना है. दैट इज समथिंग मैं भूल गया करना, क्योंकि मुझे लगा नहीं था इसकी नीड पड़ेगी. सो दैट इज समथिंग ये करके रखा.
I think 2 takeaways from here. सबसे पहला तो takeaway is कि देखो ऑलिडा रैंकर 2 से भी गलती होती है. So that is a big takeaway. ये मत सोचना कि रैंक लाने के लिए आपको सारी चीजें सही करनी पड़ेगी तो भी आपको रैंक आएगा. Forget about it. अगर आप सारी चीजें सही कर रहे हो, if you have did each and everything correct, तो फिर तो आपका 800 on 800 आता, not let's say 640 या 740 etc. So that's the thing which all of you need to know कि सारी चीजें सही करना जरूरी नहीं है. But having said that, you need to strive at least जितनी चीजें आपको पता है. Let's say Akshat told you कि 1.5 दिन की planning नहीं करी, let's say that was a mistake. You have to learn from his mistake and make sure कि आप वो 1.5 दिन की planning करो ताकि you don't end up missing. The thing with Akshat was अगर उसकी कोई चीज छूट भी गई, he had that confidence in him कि वो फिर भी एग्जाम में लिख के आएगा, given his level of preparation before. But यार अगर मैं होता और एग्जाम लिखने पहले कोई चीज नहीं पढ़ता तो मैं शायद एग्जाम के लिए शायद नहीं लिख पाता. I really don't know. So I feel it's also important to plan कि आपको क्या छोड़ के जाना है, कितना छोड़ के जाना है. You need to prioritize ताकि end में, and more than anything else, it's about avoiding that panic. Because last दिन एग्जाम के दिन सुबह you are like अरे ये 4 चैप्टर छूट रहे, इसमें से कुछ आ गया, तो that will create an unnecessary panic pressure in your head. Even if उसमें से कुछ नहीं भी पूछा, फिर भी because of that panic आपको आधी हुई चीज भी आप गलत कर गया. So I feel it's very important because of this reason to have that 1.5 day plan in place. And again, picking up from your Akshat, I want you to share if you have any such instances, most memorable, that is the best moment in your CA course, and let's say a worst phase, or let's say a moment which you'd like to forget, which was not a very pleasant moment, etc., or a phase that was not very pleasant.
So I would start with the worst phase. That was like I had in my CAfinal last preparation, I had planned that after completing my 3 revisions, I would do a few chapters of some chapters law and audit again, and I kept around 6-7 days for that. Like sort of a 4th reading was a part of that. So that was from around 2nd May to 7th May, something like that period. But at that point, I was, after those 3 days, so frustrated and so exhausted, I did not study at all for those 6 days. Like वो मतलब उसके मुझे 8 तारीख को FR चालू करनी है, उसके पिछले 6 दिन मैंने कुछ भी नहीं पढ़ पाया. मतलब आई हैड प्लान कि लॉ ऑडिट करूंगा, पर मेरे बस की ही नहीं. उस पॉइंट पे आई वाज लाइक कि भाई मैंने बहुत पढ़ लिया, आई कैन नॉट स्टडी एनीमोर. अब जो FR में देखा जाएगा, अब मैं नहीं कर सकता वापस, अब सीधे 1.5 दिन में करेंगे लॉ ऑडिट. सो दैट वाज मतलब उस पॉइंट पे इतना ज्यादा फ्रस्ट्रेशन और एग्जॉस्ट हो चुके थे उनको कर करके बार बार कि वो पॉसिबल ही नहीं हो पाया था.
I feel there are two takeaways over here. In my lens, how I see it. One is, like he mentioned, that was the fourth reading he was additionally doing for these two subjects only, audit and law, and obviously because let's say there are three subjects, etc. So probably तीन reading तक आते आते he was so burned out already. Or let's say he was so saturated already कि fourth reading करने का वो feasibility था ही. So there's also a thing a lot of people ask कितने revisions करने चाहिए. The more you do, the better. Yes, the more you do, the better. But हर एक चीज की एक सीमा होती है यार. मतलब आप तीन से ज्यादा फोर्थ रीडिंग करोगे, you won't like it. At the end of the day, everyone is a human. You get saturated. And second is यहाँ पे एक और takeaway is कि this guy मतलब exam के एक हफ्ते पहले he was burnt out. And this actually happened with me back in my intern. Now that I relate with him, like 4 or 5 days before my exams, I was so burnt out. I felt like नहीं पढ़ा इतने महीने से today I'm now frustrated. I just don't want to see the books. And ये burnout होते हैं, which is very practical. A lot of people have this question कि क्या आप is it good to take breaks? Is it fine to take breaks, some time off? Definitely it is fine. You need to take time off, and that does not mean कि आप 10 दिन ना पढ़ो. It simply means, let's say, take a day or day's break, half a day's break, take 2 days का break at different periods of time. Let's say महीने में 1-2 दिन का break लिया, something like that. But the whole idea over here is you have to plan so that you don't get burnt. So I think these are the two takeaways that I have from my end. Akshat, your best moment about in the CA course.
So apart from the rank, the best moment I would say, like previously I was only in studies. Everyone knew me only for my academic performance. So when I started going to conferences, for example, I recently went to 3 weeks ago in Aurangabad National Conference, and I participated in moot court, in direct as moot court competition, and I won that competition. And I was very much appreciated by everyone over there. Like something which was not very expected. Like the judges, the various dignitaries over there, the audience specifically came to me and appreciated that you spoke very well, and the audience reaction was also very good when I was speaking. So all those dignitaries, like for 15 to 20 minutes after that, everyone was coming and appreciating. So that felt very good, like that I'm not just in academics. People appreciate me for speaking and for other things. Like they just appreciated my sense of humor. I did not know I had any even. So that was something like I had like moved apart from studies as well. Like even after I met many people in conferences, many people said to me that initially we had an impression of you that you were a stereotypical ranker, who got 740 or nerd sort of a person. But after meeting me, that impression changed. That yes, he's a fun-loving all-rounder and take my activities as well. So that was something for me.
I feel I had a similar impression about Akshat, and no offense to Akshat. Before we two of us actually met at Sri Lanka International Conference back in 2020, International CA Students Conference. And before going to the conference, I was like, "Yeah, you already ranker one doge, pakka not doge." This is despite the fact that I myself was already ranker at Inter, but I was 6, so 6 and 1 wala bhi wo dimag mein nahi one wala to pakka not doge. And when I met these folks, Him and Shubham for that matter, Shubham Kabi, obviously you guys would have seen the video on this channel going to marksheets. So the thing was, once I met him, I really figured after those 4-5 days that we were together, it is not a fact. I mean, obviously, पढ़ने के time पे these guys must be studying like anything, but मजे के time पे लोग मजे कर लेते हैं. And it's like not just that they are not academically very strong, बाकी सारी चीजों में भी like Akshat said, both of them are actually all rounders, and I can vouch for it given the fact that I've actually known these folks. And this is one more reason, one more misconception I want to actually clear out in the audience. Not all rankers or not all these students are nerds. There are a lot of people who actually have a lot of potential in them, whether or not they get a chance to actually portray. And luckily for Akshat, he got a chance to portray it. And in fact, picking up from your Akshat, how do you, like you said, apart from your rank, let's say Aurangabad moment was probably the best moment in the CA course. Henceforth, picking it from your, how do you describe your CA journey apart from an all India ranker?
So apart from all India ranker, as I view my journey in the CA course, it was a journey of like a personal development and going out of my comfort zone. Like academics and studying is my comfort zone. मुझसे कितना भी पढ़वा लो, वो मेरा comfort zone. So in CA, I tried going beyond my comfort zone. जैसे कि we just talked about conferences. So that was very unlike me कि मैं conference से paper भेजूं, apply करूं, 5 दिन के लिए मैं एकदम strangers के साथ जाऊं और वहां से उनसे इतनी अच्छी दोस्ती कर दूं मैं stage पे. That was very unlike me maybe 3 years ago or 4 years ago. So that was one thing I did a personal comfort zone से बाहर निकला मैं, जो खुद को बहुत फील होता है कि हाँ मैं थोड़ी efforts किए उस तरफ, थोड़ा वो डेवलपमेंट हुआ है, उसके मुझे रिजल्ट दिखते हैं कि लोग का इंप्रेशन मेरी तरफ चेंज हुआ है, जैसे कि जस्ट टॉक्ड अबाउट कि ऑल राउंडर है एंड दैट थिंग. तो कहीं ना कहीं वो डेवलपमेंट आई फेल्ट समथिंग हैपेंड इन माय सीए जर्नी. जो स्कूल टाइम पे आई वाज वेरी स्टूडियस थे, तो वो डेवलपमेंट हुआ.
Perfect. And in fact, again, next question over here is, so again, people have this perception about the CA course कि next year पढ़ा को लोग इसमें जाते हैं, people लोग सिर्फ पढ़ते ही रहते हैं CA में. And people feel they CA students miss out on their college life, which I agree they do. But what is your opinion on, let's say, CA being all about studies or people missing out on their college within CA?
Yeah, the CA students miss out on their college, but not necessarily college life. Because college life, you can make that college life by yourselves. Because even if you're in college, you have to take that initiative, go and join clubs, join societies, take part in events. And that is what makes that college life. If you do not go into those events and just keep studying in the college, then I would say you have not lived that college life. If you just keep studying in college also. The same goes for CA. You have to take that initiative and you can live that college life. Like I have so many friends who are committee members in Vikasa or Sikasa, the student committees. So I've seen how much college life they have lived. Like that is even more than what they could have done in any college. Like they could have joined 2 or 3 clubs in some college. Over here, they've joined all clubs practically. The conferences, sports, academics, like all sorts of clubs they've joined when they are in such committees. And I've seen the development, like personal development they have gone through. Like they tell me, like what they were 3 years before and how they are now. Like now you take part in the talent hunts, like quiz competitions and elocution competitions, like conferences, paper presentations. Like there's so many events that ICI itself organizes and other organizations organize. So there are many, for example, MUNs organized, etc. that happened, open MUNs, not by institute, by other organizations. So you have to make that college life. You have to take that initiative to earn that college life.
Agreed. And I very much echo Akshat's thoughts, and I really like how he put it. आप college जाके भी अगर इस सब में participate नहीं करोगे तो आपकी क्या ही college life की. Similarly, within CA course, it's in your hands to actually participate in various things, etc. Which unfortunately not many people are. So it's not about a course that you're blaming. Okay, I agree, CA में college नहीं होता है. But the point is, you still have that opportunities out there. A lot of initiatives that ICA is taking. To name a few, let's say there are conferences, there are these 4-week residential programs, there is elocution quiz competitions. There's obviously this student committee, like Akshat said, Vikasa, Sikasa, Nikasa, etc. So there's a lot of events that ICA organizes. And in fact, like I said earlier, me and Akshat met in Sri Lanka's International CA Students Conference. I have done a lot of conferences. Akshat of late has done a lot of conferences. And the benefit of these conferences, like Akshat said, is the first benefit is networking. You meet strangers out there. When I met Akshat was a stranger. But today we are very good friends and have been together even much before all of us cleared CAfinal with all India ranks. So that is, I met Brahman, as a matter of fact, who is all India rank 1 Jan 21. I met him back 2019 in Chandigarh conference and didn't even know he'll end up getting an all India rank 1 in CAfinal. But so all of these are many benefits in conferences, etc., which I feel a lot of people don't know about, or even if they do know about, they probably don't actively participate, which I feel they should. And having said that, again, Akshat, I think last question is, what do you think is the best thing about the CA course?
So the best thing about CA course, a few things I would say. First of all is the level of knowledge. The level of knowledge we get here is like uncomparable to what you can get in any graduation, post-graduation, any other course. Like after my 12th, I just evaluated the syllabus of various graduation courses in my university, in Delhi University. So what I felt was that syllabus was like mota covered in my intermediate itself. So CAfinal was totally extra like level of knowledge we get after CA. Like that is expert knowledge. That is what you should expect from us also. You should be expert in every subject that you are appearing for after CAfinal. So आपको अगर knowledge चाहिए तो आपको इस फील्ड में, कॉमर्स फील्ड में, तो CA से बेटर किसी फील्ड में नहीं मिलती. Even in other courses आपको ज्यादा में भी प्रैक्टिकल लिखना, वो कम्युनिकेशंस के कोर्स में ज्यादा मिलेगा, पर नॉलेज जो है वो इस कोर्स ज्यादा कहीं नहीं मिलती. That is what I realized right from after my class 12. And secondly, जो CA के बाद जो कॉन्फिडेंस आता है कि भाई अगर कोई आप हमें नई चीज भी आती है तो भी आप कहोगे कि you will never say कि I can't do this. You would say I would read and I would do it. Maybe you have studied some commercial laws. Maybe some client comes with query of RERA, or maybe some other law that you are not studying CAfinal. You would never say that I do not know this. You would say I would read it and do it. So that confidence you get after CA that I can do anything after this.
Perfectly said. I think if there is time to put this in one line, एक बार आपने CA कर लिया ना, आप कुछ भी कर सकते हो. CA builds in you that confidence that once you've done CA, you get anything and everything on earth that is possible. Because it builds that mindset, that confidence in your head. Gone through that rigorous journey that prepares you well for anything that comes on your path life from this. Having said that, I think that's all that we wanted to hear from Akshat. Obviously, there's a lot of study strategies and there's a lot of planning, etc. How he prepared for, how he went about lectures, etc. That you want to hear from Akshat, and we definitely hear from him. He is planning to post a few videos on his channel. I think he's already posted one. But having said that, I'm really glad Akshat made time for this. I'm sure this journey that he shared with us beyond his mark sheet will definitely be very inspirational for all those CA aspirants out there. Thanks a ton, Akshat, for taking all the time. To all the viewers, thanks a lot for taking all the time to watch it. Please do mention your views in your comments if you like this video, which I'm sure you could have. Please do press the like button, and needless to say, do subscribe to the channel.